Good evening and welcome to the Star Chamber Show live podcast. It is a great Wednesday evening in Lexington, Kentucky, where I, Stephen Zimmer, am broadcasting from. It is episode number 473 for those of you keeping score tonight. So 473, yes, episodes. And tonight's going to be a great one with an Imaginarium favorite, with a Star Chamber Show favorite. And yes, it'll be coming up in just a few minutes. Just a few minutes. And joining me tonight as the co-host is the vivacious, the loquacious, and the audacious Holly Phillippe. But she will be, as tends to be the case, she'll be joining me in just a few minutes. She's currently finishing up, setting up, and getting ready for tonight, but she will be on. So yeah, the chat room is open tonight. And so, yeah, come on in and make yourselves at home. And of course, we take questions and comments and all that kind of good stuff from the chat room. So, yes, definitely chime in there. And also a reminder to follow us on social media. Of course, you can find Star Chamber Show on Facebook, on Blue Sky, on Instagram, and yes, and yeah, Blue Sky and also X. Yes, sometimes it's tough keeping track of all the platforms that all the various stuff is on. We are definitely the official podcast of the Imaginarium convention as well, and so yes, definitely you want to keep you up to date on all the latest news when it comes to Imaginarium. So yes, tonight, yeah, we have some news that is breaking right before the show, and well, not right before the show, but this afternoon we got out the information that yes, the Star Chamber or the call for entries is now out for the Imaginarium Independent Film Festival. Yes, the call for entries is open, folks. So yeah, definitely check that out when you get a chance. Film Freeway, of course, is our main platform for all the visual projects, and of course, also for screenplays. And then you can also submit screenplays through the International Screenwriters Association. So, yes, you can also do the screenplays through there. But yeah, Film Freeway for everything else. And of course, we do accept all genres of features, short films, documentaries, web series, music videos, and of course, as the aforementioned screenplays and non-produced screenplays, of course, and all genres. And of course, they are juried awards. And those who are official selections do receive a complimentary full weekend event ticket to the Imaginarium convention. And also, yeah, those who are finalists as well in the full weekend. Yes, sorry, sorry, got I was checking on something there, but full weekend event ticket to the Imaginarium convention. Those are official selections, and then also those who are in the new Imaginarium Independent Filmmaker Spotlight, and that was a new showcase that we did on the Sunday, and it went really well. And those projects, while they didn't make official selection status, we definitely found them to be very, very worthy, and definitely, definitely these were up and coming independent filmmakers, and we wanted to give them, some definite attention and showcase their work. And so, yes, anybody that falls into that category will also receive a full weekend event ticket to Imaginarium, which, as you know, it's a national conference, and yeah, it's worth $150 as far as value goes. So that's not a small thing at all. So definitely check that out. Check it out, our platform. You can get all the information, of course, at the Imaginarium official site at entertheimaginarium.com. Or you can go find Imaginarium Convention on Film Freeway. You can find the information there, and you can also find the information over on the International Screenwriters Association under the Imaginarium Convention under events. And so all that stuff's been updated, and it is open. And go check that out. Get your projects in, screenplays, visual projects of all kinds. all that stuff is open. And then, of course, we do want to always give a reminder of our early bird period for discounts, because we do that every year for all of our regular attendees to give them a chance to get some major discounts on things like expo spaces and event tickets. And so all that stuff's on big discount right now. We only offer 20 spaces in Creatives Alley and 20 in the main expo hall for early bird pricing. So a lot of those spaces have been reserved so far, so don't wait on getting tables reserved if you want the discount, because those will fill up. And then also, of course, get your event tickets early, and you get a really, really nice savings to where you can attend Imaginarium for less than $40 a day, and that gets you access to all the programming, all the entertainment, all of the other stuff, the expo, the film festival, everything. It's an event ticket gets you access to absolutely everything. So check that out. And yes, want to definitely say hi to the awesome Molly Daniels, also writes as Kenzie Michaels. And yes, she is in the chat room. So yes, I definitely want to say hi to her. And we have a lot of people that have already applied to be panelists and guests at Imaginarium. We wanted to go ahead and get the film festival open and a couple other things done, and then we're going to start announcing our first wave of guests and panelists. So that is right around the corner. That's pretty imminent. So keep your eyes out, because we're going to start rolling out announcements on panelists and guests and all that kind of good stuff. And then we also were just doing some checks and reconfirming with a couple major guests. So we should have some pretty big announcements in this first wave. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's coming right down the pike. And we're going to move over to recognizing those that brought you tonight's show. And that would be the League of Elders series from the great Ren Garcia, and also the amazing Sandy Lender, the Genre Blender. We want to definitely show some love to both of them, and give you a moment to hear from each of them in their own voice. So first we'll start with Sandy, and this was a new spot we debuted about a week ago, so check it out.
Star Chamber listeners already know that author Sandy Lender offers you a variety of spec fiction and epic fantasy adventures to help you escape reality. Did you know she also offers positive, quirky book discussions and reviews on her BookTube channel, Sandy Says Read? Check out the Sandy Says Read channel on YouTube for over 600 book chats to entertain you. The channel includes the Indie Book Spotlight and the DIY for Creatives playlists, along with others to help you find videos and essays that pique your literary interests. Subscribe for free to the Sandy Says Read channel in time for the Monday night upload, and join the community where our motto is, you can always find something good in a book.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sandy, and we really appreciate your support of the Star Chamber show and everything in Imaginarium. I really do appreciate it. And check all of Sandy's stuff out. It's all really good, and her books, her YouTube channel, everything is really, really cool. So yeah, check all that out when you get a chance. And now I'm going to go over to Ren Garcia, the one, the only Ren, with the famous question that we ask every week. Here we go.
The League of Elder dares to be unusual. It's easy to be swept away in this bold and uninhibited landscape where fantastic heroes become old friends and sinister villains inhabit every dark corner. Dare to explore things best left alone. Each book is your lantern, lighting the path to a world never before seen. So what do you say? Are you weird enough for us?
Yes, we are. And that's Holly. And she is on the air. Hi, Holly.
Hello.
There you are. I knew you were going to pop in there somewhere, but you
I am here. I am sneaky.
Just in time to answer Ren's by now famous question. So
I am sneaky.
Well, yeah, we still got a couple minutes before our normal guest time, so I guess I'll give you the floor, Holly, and tell us anything you need to update us on your end. I did
No.
tell about the call for entries, and also did the reminder on the early bird discounts. So that's where we're at right now. But anything
Well,
else
and
you need to update
this,
on?
did you tell him about the Steve Alton interview?
Not yet. Because I'm about to put that up tonight on all the Imaginarium channels. But yes,
Well, I shared it. I shared it in the forum Facebook page, and I shared it on my personal page. So watch out for that link, guys, because you'll be able to go to the Seven Star Press YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see the Steve Alton interview from Imaginarium. It is his assistant and himself both commented and stated that it is one of the best interviews he's ever done. So, and it
Mhm.
is really good. Rebecca Cutbirth, she did the interviewing, and my God, she was phenomenal. And
Yeah, it's
yeah,
awesome.
Steve really enjoyed it. He really did.
Yeah. They sent us a note that we're just ecstatic about. And they just thought it
Yep.
was one of the best interviews that he has done, as Holly said. And Rebecca, yeah, she was absolutely great as the host of that interview. And of course, shout out to Undertaker Books, their publishing company. They do some great stuff. Yeah, got a great new novel out by Ed Downs. By the way, check that one out for sure. But yeah, that Rebecca's got so much cool stuff going on, and I will be putting that in a ton of channels. I guess Holly got the jump tonight
I
early
did.
and got it out on a few places, but it will be everywhere. So please do share it. We want to spread that far and wide because it's a great interview. And of course, Steve Alton of the Meg series, I mean, his books, have already created a film franchise that's in excess of $1 billion worldwide revenue wise in the first two Meg movies with Jason Statham. So yeah, I mean, this is big. He's done some pretty big stuff. But the cool thing about the interview is it gets well beyond the Meg series and gets into his other work and writing and things like that. It's a really cool, comprehensive interview. So yeah, check it out. It's a really
A lot of
nice
fun. And
28-minute interview.
you get to see a side of Steve Alton that you didn't know. He is actually hilarious.
Yeah,
He,
great sense of
he
humor.
makes some really funny statements
Yeah.
and wisecracks, and I love it.
Yeah, and this is so cool for me because he's one of my top 10 authors of all time and one of my top 5, currently living authors in the world. And so, yeah, it's really cool. I mean, it's really cool. And so I think it comes across real well, and it looks great, and yeah, it's good video. So please do check that out, and yeah, give the Star Chamber or the Seven Star Press YouTube channel a follow as well while you're there, because we are going to be doing some more activity as far as some interviews and videos and things like that. That is right around the corner as well. And so this will give you a little preview because we're going to do some other things in conjunction for Imaginarium as well to support that. So check it out. So anything else, Holly? Any other notes?
I think
Or is
that
that
was the big news. I just returned from Indiana yesterday and had ran all over this city today, and yeah, I've just been busy. So here we are, and
here we
we're
are?
gonna have a great show tonight, and got a
Here
great
we are.
guest, and
Yes,
let's get her on.
let's get her on. Yes, and the Corn Island Storytelling Festival, folks, is this Saturday in Oldham
Yes,
County. By the way, we did a couple shows about it. That's this Saturday.
and
Of
we'll
course,
be there.
Harry Chambers. Yeah, we're going to stop by for a while and say hi to everyone. So yeah, you get to see us if you want. But that's it. So yeah, we're on time here tonight for our guest of the night, and this is going to be a great one. And tonight's guest is a multi-award-winning screenwriter and author. She is the author of the very popular Nathan Perry Mystery Series, and also is a screenwriter, has garnered many awards, including at the Imaginarium Convention. She also is a member of the Derby Rotten Scoundrels chapter of Sisters in Crime. And so tonight it is my honor and pleasure to bring back onto the Star Chamber show the one, the only, Carol Preflatish.
Hello.
And Carol,
Yay!
microphone is open.
Hi.
There you are. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome onto the show. And
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
yes, it's been a minute since we did, but tonight we wanted to give you some exposure.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
I'd see that. Very good.
Because
Clever,
yes,
clever, clever.
I didn't mention that in my intro, because I wanted to use that clever line right there. I had that one was not on the fly. I did think of that before the show, but
Oh dear.
this is the night we are going to explore a new mystery series from Carol, and of course it's the Coyote Canyon Mysteries, and that began with the new book Exposure. Hence my cool lead in line there. So, but yes, Carol, yeah, great to have you on the show. New novel, and you are just flying on this. You even have the second book already turned in. You're already working on the third book. So I mean, this series has really gripped you. And well, tell us all about the series, what it is first of all.
Well, let me explain the title to start with. Exposure in this book means it's an area where the terrain in the mountain is steep enough where that a fall would result in an injury or death. And of course, that's, I write murder mysteries, so a death does occur from a fall up in the mountains. The local sheriff, who is serving his first term, he's somewhat inexperienced. He's the youngest man ever to be elected sheriff in Colorado. Uh, he's working the beginning of the book. He's working the Sunday night shift alone. A call comes in on the 911 line that a boy's been lost up on the mountain. And so he, all hands on deck. He calls all the deputies in, the fire department, the search and rescue. Everybody, goes to the mountain and look for this boy. Fortunately, he's found. But while everyone is up on the mountain looking for the boy, they do find this dead body at the bottom of a cliff. And that kind of starts the investigation into who done it.
Yes, and it is a real page turner, and I have to say up front, I am very familiar with the book because I did serve as Carol's editor on the project, and of course I appreciate writers like Carol because her copy is so clean when she turns it in. It's just a matter of just a little bit of cleanup and fine tuning each time. But yeah, great job with this book, and and you introduce a new protagonist who is very different in nature than Nathan Perry, the military veteran that you have in the town of Mystic in your Nathan Perry mysteries. And so I guess that one of the first questions I want to ask is, you're building this series around a new protagonist, a new main character. What did the idea for the character inspire the story in the rest of the series, or did you have a plot already and then the main characters emerged? How'd your new protagonist emerge?
He wasn't actually the first thing I thought of. I A lot of my books revolve around the location, the town, and that's what this one revolved around, the fictitious town of Coyote Canyon, Colorado, which is actually based off of Telluride, Colorado. And once I had the location, I always like to write about law enforcement. So I did want to get a little bit away from the Nathan Perry because he's a detective in a local police department in a little bit larger city. So I went with the sheriff's department with this one. That way he's got the whole county that he serves. And so, I just trying to separate away from the Nathan Perry character.
Yes, and the two settings are very different. Of course, one, up in Massachusetts. This one is definitely, you get the full Colorado mountain feel. And I
Yeah.
was actually going to ask you, what inspired Coyote Canyon, because I was thinking it was something like Telluride. So I
Yeah.
guess I was I was pretty accurate there. But
You got it.
yeah, that was it was, and it comes through. I mean, it's definitely if you've read the Nathan Perry mysteries, a very different main character, very different setting. And I'd say that readers of your series, though, I mean, it's not going to be a big jump to really get into this one. It's not like going from like steampunk to like medieval fantasy or something like that. I mean, this will be a really easy for readers of the other series to come over to as far as
Yeah,
tone
it's
and
another
style.
murder mystery. Yeah, another
Mhm.
murder mystery.
And it and ensemble too. I mean, you've got a great. I think you do a really good job with your ensembles, and I think you've built another good one around here. Um, But what are some of the things that you, I guess, like that are, I guess, that's unique to this series that you don't get to explore as much in the other? What are some, because I know you really have loved the writing process of this one. So what are some of the things that really are attracting you to write Coyote Canyon Mysteries?
Well, again, the location. I've never been to Colorado. Always wanted to go, so I loved researching the area. I almost stalked some of the businesses in Telluride on social media. There's a couple webcams that I watch, so I've got a real feel for the location that the of the real town. And I like writing about law enforcement. I in my younger days wanted to be a police officer, did not do that after all, but I just that type of thing I really love to get into.
Nice. And what, I guess, with one character, with Nathan being a detective, and then now your new character is a sheriff. What does this give you? I guess that what the to contrast the two, having a character as a detective versus one that's a sheriff. What does that do for you in terms of a crime mystery story? Advantages, pros, or cons of each.
With the sheriff, he's the boss. He's the one that makes the decisions. If something goes wrong, it's his fault. With Nathan Perry, he's a detective within the department. He's got a lieutenant above him, he's got a captain above him, and he's got the chief of police above him. So, for the most part, on as far as the investigation goes, he's his own boss. But at other times, he has to get approval to do something. Where Sam, the sheriff in Coyote Canyon, he doesn't have to get approval.
Right. Because I do get a chuckle at some of the scenes in the Nathan Perry series where Nathan has to talk to the chief
Yeah.
and some of their interactions. I mean, definitely that's where you definitely get a few laughs when their specific relationship. And
Nathan
yeah,
doesn't like politics.
yeah. No, not at all. And this one, yeah, you're right. He's the boss, but he's also younger. And so, what kind of burden does that place on him, being young?
Well,
Because
the
you
inexperience, his background, his father, which I get into in the second book, his father was a law enforcement officer, so that's why he wanted to be a law enforcement officer. He started out working like local security at the hospital. He went to college and got a 2-year degree in. I can't remember what I gave him the degree in, criminal justice or law enforcement. I can't remember now. That's the second book. And yeah, and then he ended up being a supervisor in the security department at one of the local ski resorts in Coyote Canyon, and that so he's garnered all of his experience that he has from that. But becoming sheriff and becoming the boss, that was a new experience for him.
hmm And the sheriff too. That's because you mentioned the word like politics when it comes
Yeah.
to Nathan Perry. When you're a sheriff, you actually do have to address that side of things because it is an elected position as well.
That's going to
Right.
come out. That's going to come out big time in book 3.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, because you're flying. I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holly, she is just she is just by the
Uh-huh.
time the end of the year comes, she'll be at book 6 probably.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but it'd be
She'll
nice.
have a couple novellas here, a couple
Few
there
novellas,
with B
she'll have
characters.
spin-off novels.
Between all my other writing that I've got going on or that I want to do, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go.
But I know Holly has. I don't think Holly, like I said, with the chaos of the convention and everything, Holly, definitely is now finally hopefully getting some time to read here very shortly. And I know she wants to get into exposure for sure. And I know Beck is gonna.
Yes, I do.
Beck may have
I
already
want to get
read
into
it.
it.
And both, by the way, both of them.
We love
Yeah.
murder. We love murder stories.
Well,
Yeah, add stories on the end of that. Not
Yeah.
we love
Yeah,
murder.
there
We
you
love
go.
murder
Well,
stories.
we love true crime and
Yeah.
murder
Yeah.
stories, and we don't love people that murder people, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we like to read the stories. We like the psychological aspect of the serial killers, and you know what makes them what makes people actually go over that line, because there's a fine line, right? You can hate somebody, or you can have resentment toward a certain group of people, an MO, you know, and not go over that limit, but what actually, makes somebody take the jump and actually murder. So yeah, that it's the psychological aspect.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with crime fighting and doing the hunting. It's a game, like, you got to play. It's like a chess. It's like playing chess. You have all these pieces that you got to move around, and the first 48 hours, as you know, are the most important.
Yep.
Yep. It gets harder and harder after that.
Yeah, because I know Holly, I'm going to leave the exploration of killers to you on this because this is your territory for sure. But I know Carol can't tell you who is at the heart of some of these things because that would be a major spoiler for a mystery novel. But
Although at
yeah.
Imaginarium, I gave away accidentally the killer of my last Nathan Perry book. I was so
Oh,
mad at myself.
When did that occur? I gotta ask.
That was on the mystery panel.
Nice in the
ah,
panel. I was gonna say, was it on a panel? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, but keeping in mind that Carol can't give away spoilers on the book, so as far as the the who done it kind of question. Yeah, Holly, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let's explore killers in Carol's books.
ah. Well, I've never asked you this, Carol. We talk about a lot of things, but where do you draw your inspiration for your killers and your research? Do you do, like, is it more crime drama, TV, fictional, or do you delve more into like what I love, the true crime, there's several shows like on Peacock and Hulu, like Buried in Your Backyard, or Speaking with a Killer, or like there's one now on the Ed Gein tapes where he's actually speaking. I mean, do you like more of the true crime documentary type, or do you delve more into the fiction drama like CSI?
The fiction drama, the TV dramas, I love
Okay.
those more than the true crime. I do like true crime, not quite as much as the TV dramas because with true crime I have to concentrate too much on what's going on.
Yeah. But they do give really good research
Yeah.
into your killer,
And
So
that's what true crime is good for a writer. That's what true crime is good for is,
yeah,
research to make sure you're getting details right of how the police officers act or what they might say, things like that.
yeah,
Except
inspiration.
yeah, except like I think that, and this benefiting you, I think, is as far as the book market probably, but true crime is just red hot. It seems to me
Yeah,
now.
it
I
is.
mean,
Yeah,
everybody
it
I
is.
talk to, yeah, they're following a lot of true crime stuff, and
Yeah.
that's got to be good for a writer like yourself with the whodunits and murder mysteries and things like
Yep.
that because everybody's watching them. It's like, yeah, Holly, every time I turn around she's discovering a new show, a new
That's
Yeah.
what
every
I go to sleep to at night. So Steven sleeps with one eye open because,
yeah.
yeah,
well well
that's my comfort shows.
well,
But
sometimes it gets odd because I went to sleep one night and she was watching a
yeah,
true
yeah,
crime
this
show.
is good.
Then she fell asleep, and I woke up and the TV was still on, and it was right in the middle of, like, I guess one of the Walking Dead spinoffs. So I woke up to zombies. So it was
And I don't like zombies. So I'm like, Steven's like, "Are you watching?" I woke up and he's like, because, I only sleep for like an hour and a half at a time. And he's like, "Are you watching that without me? You didn't want to watch that." I said, "I still don't. It just automatically played. My other show stopped."
yeah, that was
Stop.
funny.
Go back.
That was funny.
But yeah, so yeah, that's what I was wondering, how you draw, because you go back to like the old Clue games and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it was
I
always
do a
like the
lot
butler
of
and
I do a lot of research. My
yeah,
computer is just folders and after folder after folder of research, and I have it broken down into the different books that are in the series that I'm writing.
So what are you reading now? I mean, what's some of the books you got going?
You will be surprised. I have switched to reading fantasy books, which I never
Nice.
ever thought I
Oh
would
my
read
God.
fantasies.
Wow.
But that I'm reading A Court of Mist and Fury right now by Sarah Moss, and I just finished the
Cool.
Fourth Wing series. So yeah, I'm really getting into that.
Oh, that's fun. It's always
Nice.
fun to read something out of your genre
Yeah,
once in a while, because you do find things you'd be like, oh, well, this is pretty fun, you know? And
my
yeah,
daughter kept
I
saying,
do that.
Mom, you need to read Fourth Wing. You need to read this. I said, no, I don't like fantasy. And I started reading Fourth Wing, and man, I got hooked like crazy. So I finished that series, and now I'm on the Akatar series.
Nice.
Nice.
I always
Very
tell
cool.
it's one of the things I always tell writers I work with. I'm like, read outside your genre, because not only will you
Yeah.
surprise yourself, you'll find some genres you enjoy, but you also see, things that, tools and techniques sometimes that
Yeah.
you can draw from. And but yeah, personally, obviously, you know what I write, so I am very happy to hear that you like fantasy now. All right, very pleased to hear that. But no, that's good. That's good, and that's a good thing for writers to do. Yeah, read
Well, and
outside.
for me, it's cheaper because my daughter has all the books, and I don't have to buy
Well,
them. I just borrow them from
borrow.
her.
There you go. Just borrow.
Yep.
That's a
That
win-win.
always works.
Well,
Heck
that's a
yeah.
win-win. That's a
But
win-win.
I think it's fun. I think it's fun to read outside your genre. And like you said, you pick up on things that you normally wouldn't have you know, been exposed to
Yeah.
otherwise. And
Mhm.
you get some, oh, that's a pretty good. Hey, I could spin it this way and put it in my book. Now, have you ever thought about? I've thought about this too. Have you ever thought about delving into like a cross genre with your crime dramas and doing like a romance, like with like your lead detective, or doing a big romance like a romance thriller or something like that. I was just wondering if you ever had one of those in the works, or have thought about
Well,
doing it.
when I started writing, I started out writing romantic suspense. So yeah,
Right.
I have done that. If you read Exposure, you'll find out there's a little bit of romance thrown in there.
Okay.
Sam has a girlfriend. The sheriff has a girlfriend, and
Okay.
it's a little rocky. Their relationship's a little rocky.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's in there.
Oh, that's
And,
fun.
there's a little dance around the edges a little bit in the Nathan Perry series too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not up front, but if
yeah.
you
Because
Yeah.
his
a little
old
bit
high
there.
school sweetheart is the reporter for the local paper, so they kind of
Aha.
Mhm.
rekindle their romance a little bit.
Yep. You got a little bit,
Okay.
a few
Okay.
elements like that there, yeah, too, and yeah, that's and yeah, I guess we haven't talked a lot about that, but yeah, Carol did have novels in that genre as well, so yeah, you've got that background too, but yeah, it's that is an interesting idea, yeah, as far as like Holly said, having at one point, at some point in the future, having a blender like a romance thriller, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be
I think that's
interesting.
cool. Yeah.
And I can see, without getting into it, I can see that maybe happening with Sam.
I
That could
have
happen.
I've had one reader tell me, "How could you?" I won't say anything more. She just said, and
Yep,
Stephen, you'll know what I mean.
I
But
know
she
what you
said,
mean.
"How could you?"
That's why I said I'm very careful in how I'm phrasing
Yeah,
anything on
yeah.
this. But
And I said, "Just wait till you read book 2." And she says, "I'm coming over to your house right now."
yeah, you should not give out your home address to
No.
readers.
No, they'll
Well,
be backing down
this
your door.
this particular reader has been here before. She's a friend, so she's been here before. She says, "I'll just sit at your computer
Vetted.
and read
Okay,
it."
so this reader is fully vetted. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
because yeah, you don't want one of the ones that's like in like the Stephen King novel, like
oh yeah,
one of those kind of fans.
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't want a misery situation.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but uh, but yeah, this
But I
is
like that. I like the blending and the crossing of genres there, and yeah,
sometimes yeah.
that's a lot of fun because you can go on, and it's the same way with those B characters. You never know who's gonna pop their head up and say, "Hey, I want my own time," you know.
Well,
Mhm.
and since you mentioned that, one of the deputies that works with Sam is a real playboy, so
Aha.
he has his fun times too.
Mhm.
Ha ha ha. See,
Uh-oh,
there
so
you go.
Carol's thinking of a spin-off series now.
Uh-huh.
But it is
The
a
sexy
it's
deputy. Yeah, yeah, there you go.
but Holly's gonna, yeah, I think really gonna love the series because I mean, a lot of
Yeah,
people may not
look
know that I was
forward to it.
actually born in Denver. I only lived there less than a
Yeah.
few months though before my parents started moving east. That ended up with me in Kentucky pretty shortly thereafter. So, but yeah, I was actually born in Denver, so I've got a little bit of mountain roots, I guess.
Yeah,
But it's a different a different vibe and especially capturing a little bit of that kind of a little bit of that rural feel, a little bit of that upper echelon feel of Telluride. I mean, it's got a lot of the mountains and the terrain and the environment comes through and people. I'd love to when people discover that you're also a photographer and you've got a photographer's eye.
yeah.
So that comes. I think that comes into it when you. Right. I mean, you definitely bring a
Yeah.
photographer's eye to your settings, and
I try to describe how everything should look.
mhm. And yeah, and this is a very scenic area. Well, I mean, not saying that where Mystic, Massachusetts isn't scenic, but I mean, yeah, this is the grandeur of the mountains and that kind of
Yeah,
thing. But it comes through, and yeah, I bet you had a little bit of fun playing with that, even though you said you haven't physically visited there just yet.
I love snow-covered mountains, so that's my draw to Colorado.
Hmm. They've got a lot of book events, out there.
Oh, I
They
know.
do.
Telluride has a film festival every year too.
Uh huh.
Yep.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Mm. Ideas, ideas.
Because you made a pilgrimage to the Northeast, so so you visited one of your terrains. So
No, I didn't. I was supposed to. That trip got canceled, unfortunately.
oh, that got
Yeah.
canceled.
Yeah, it got
Okay,
canceled.
okay, I thought you actually did make it up there.
No, we were close, but we didn't quite get it. I was going to go with my daughter, and their plans changed, so that meant my plans changed.
Okay, whoops. Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
get
For
there
some reason,
someday.
in my head, I thought you did make it on that trip. So, but yes, yeah, you definitely got to. Yeah, now you got a few quests ahead of you. Yeah, for sure. Because yeah, I mean, the way you capture the locale and the people is so great. I think a lot of I think you should definitely make some appearances there in each spot because
Well,
yeah,
uh, Moon, Juan Hearn, El Hearn, is
yes,
in the chat, and he said that you guys should go shooting, sometimes camera shooting, because he said he needs lots of practice.
Oh, I'd
So he
love to
would
do
love,
that. I'd love to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
that'd be
Carol's
fun.
photography is really good, folks. Yeah, if you haven't seen some of her shots and stuff,
Oh,
she
Have you
Nate,
ever done a calendar?
no, no. Nature
Ooh,
photography is definitely my favorite. I used to live before I moved to the city. I lived in the country, and I could just sit on my front porch every evening, and there'd be deer and turkeys and
yeah.
just all kinds of wildlife, birds, all kinds. And I've had some really good shots, just taken from my front porch.
nice. Yeah, mountain lions, all kinds of fun stuff.
That's where the telephoto lens comes in, real handy.
That's where that one comes in. Yeah, Holly had over there in the Vivi area. Holly actually had a black panther, believe it or not,
Yes,
Yeah,
I
we
believe
did.
it.
that
Yeah,
surfaced,
we did.
and even the Amish
The
witnessed it
Amish
in
had
the
eyes
area.
on it, everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it was
yep.
pretty wild. And that
That's
thing would holler. Oh my God. And you know how coyotes sound.
Oh yeah.
But this was a whole lot different than
well, it's a
that.
whole different
And this
ballgame.
sounded like a woman screaming, but I mean, this sounded, it would make the hair stand up on your arms when he'd holler at night.
Oh yeah.
And oh my God. And we didn't know what the hell it was at first. And then the Amish, the neighbors, they got eyes on him, got seeing it. And I called the DNR about it one night because it was an awful sound. And they said they had released a couple because it was an experiment to control the deer population. I'm like, for real? It's also going to control, the
Human
kitty population,
population.
rabbits. Yeah.
Yeah,
and the Amish and the cows and the
Yeah.
horses and yeah, I'm
yeah,
like, are you
livestock
kidding
could
me?
be easy prey for something like that. Yeah,
Beautiful idea,
rough
guys. Beautiful idea.
and not always the best ideas. Yeah,
Mhm.
I, but definitely, yeah. I was just thinking that. Yeah, did Carol ever get one of those rare shots of like a
God,
mountain lion in
they are
Indiana?
pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like
And
that.
people
Yeah.
getting a lot of bobcat pictures. They seem to be
Oh
getting
yeah.
braver.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
And the
yeah. You'll have
bears, we got bears around here that've been getting braver. We had one in
yeah,
town a
yeah.
while back.
You'll have to have Sam run into a mountain lion for a scene or two or something at some point.
That might be book 3.
Yeah,
That might be in book 3.
that'll be fun.
I had somebody tell me that tarantulas are prevalent
Yes,
in Colorado
Yes, they
during
are.
certain times of the year,
Mhm.
more the warmer months. And my first 2 books are in the cooler months, so I haven't been able to throw that in there yet. But that's always in the back of my mind.
there you go. It's fun little facts like that really, amp up a story.
Yeah,
Just throwing in little tidbits of this, tidbits of that, because that really sets a scene. That really
yeah.
puts a person there. I love it.
And right now in southwestern Colorado, which is where Coyote Canyon, I locate it, wildfires are really bad right now.
Oh,
So I've jotted some notes down about that too.
Hmm.
yeah.
So what? Let's see, because right now you have a new book, Exposure. It's pretty new, and you've got the second one already in, and you're working on the third one. What kind of direction is Sam going to be taking? Can you give a little hint without giving away spoilers on what's going to be coming in the future for
Uh,
Sam?
what I can say, the second book is called Avalanche, and a skier dies in an avalanche at the beginning of the book, and it turns out the avalanche didn't kill him; he was shot, and
Aha.
Sam is arrested for murder.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh.
Holly had a good reaction there.
yeah, yeah,
That took a turn.
yeah.
Yep.
It was fun to write.
I bet so.
I love
Yes.
doing things to my characters.
So a bit of a clear your name kind of story.
Yeah,
In a way.
exactly,
Yes, yes.
exactly.
Yeah, nice.
And
Yeah.
Well, that's fun because he
he's-
gets to see the other side of it.
Yeah, and he suffers mentally from it too. So
I'd imagine.
he doesn't come out of it unscathed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'd say,
That's a little different behind the bars. It's a little different on the other side.
Yeah,
well, I
Mm.
I have to say, yeah, when you get falsely accused of something that you absolutely didn't do,
Yeah.
it does mess with you. It really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
'Cause because you can't wrap your head around it. That's the best way I
Yeah.
can say it. When somebody says you did something you didn't do, I mean, it's you just can't. I
And-
mean, it's hard to deal with. It really is.
and in this case, because he's arrested for murder, he's suspended from his job, so he can't officially investigate
Mhm.
in anything. In fact, nobody in the sheriff's department is allowed to investigate it. It's an
Mhm.
outside law enforcement agency that's
Oh,
doing the investigation. So
conflict of interest.
his hands are really tied.
Oh
Mhm.
dear.
Not saying that there's not some investigation going on his part, but
All right.
yeah,
Right.
he's really, he doesn't have the resources of the sheriff's department to do the investigating.
Yeah.
That would
And
suck.
and that really comes to play because a sheriff is, people don't realize how much power a sheriff
Yeah.
has in law enforcement. They are the highest ranking law enforcement official, and
Because they're voted in.
Yeah, and they can even pretty much, pull rank on federal people sometimes
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
certain situations.
Have
And-
you
and-
already read this book?
No. I'm just talking in general.
Yeah.
because I have
Because
studied
the
sheriffs,
feds
and I
do get
use them.
involved in the second book too.
Yeah,
They're
I do
involved in the
use-
first book, but they're involved in the second book too.
But in my Rising Dawn saga, I do have some sheriffs that take a very potent stand on some things, and so I had to do a lot of research on sheriffs and what they could and could not
Yeah,
do,
exactly.
and what their authority is, and it just surprised me just how much authority a
Yeah.
sheriff actually has, and that's something that I think a lot of people don't even realize is just how high a sheriff ranks in terms of law enforcement. I mean, they
Yeah.
really do. They really have a lot of clout, but more than people might guess.
And I'm familiar with, I live in Indiana, so I'm familiar with how the sheriff's department works in Indiana because my late husband was a sheriff's deputy for a while. But I had to do a lot of research in Colorado to see the difference and, to see what their laws as far as the sheriff is involved with, to, as far as how it goes. And it's a little bit different. They're not exactly elected every year now. They've made a lot of
Oh yeah.
changes out there. Yeah.
So what do they
Huh.
do? Just have like a 4-year term or something like a president?
Well, once you're after a certain period of time, the county decides whether they want to keep an elected sheriff or if they just want to keep the sheriff that's already there.
Oh,
Huh.
And once that happens, you're pretty much sheriff for life until you retire or you decide you don't want to be sheriff anymore. And then
it's like a
another sheriff.
Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, and then you're I think it's probably the county council or whatever they're called out there. They would appoint another sheriff then.
Huh. That's a
I'll
bit
be
of a
darned.
twist on that. Yeah, I mean, I always like the idea
And
of the elected
that
sheriff.
comes into play in my books.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause
Boy,
I
I bet,
always,
you know what? I bet the FBI really find that a pain in the ass because, you got states' rights and laws and everything. So it's going to be different from state to state. And they have to delegate all that and look all that up because they're federal. So they can go to any state they want. So, it would be a headache. Could you imagine the red tape and what you'd have to go through to really get into the laws? I mean,
I
if
can
it's that much of
imagine.
a vast difference, that's crazy.
I can imagine because I wrote
Yeah,
about
you
it.
studied it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's the difference between Indiana and Colorado. Could you I mean, if you look like at Florida, or California, Texas, especially Texas, because Texas kind of does whatever the hell they want
Yep.
anyway. So, it's they still hang people if they want to. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of do whatever. But yeah, that would really be a headache. That's interesting though. I like that. I did not know that about Colorado.
Yeah.
yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Well, anytime you got, anytime multiple agencies, local, state, federal. I mean, there's bureaucratic quagmires everywhere. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely not a fun thing to navigate, especially for a younger sheriff like Sam, because like you
Yeah.
said, he's younger. He's a younger character, and so yeah, that's not having the what are some of the challenges you think for Sam overall? I mean, being a young sheriff and not having the big experience, but having all of that authority, and also being in a community like he is in. Some of the things that Sam struggles with the most? You think?
I think gaining respect of the community because of his young age. He's from Coyote Canyon, so a lot of the people knew him before he became sheriff. But I think just because of his young age, his main problem in the first book is trying to gain respect from the other law enforcement agencies in the state.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely, definitely, and that's what I was wanted to talk a little bit about that federal, state, local thing because that's definitely a thing that comes up in your work. Um, but how's the reaction been so far to exposure, especially hearing from maybe readers that have enjoyed your Nathan Perry mysteries? What kind of feedback are you getting so far? I know it's still early.
I've had some wonderful feedback. Everybody has just that I've talked to has just loved it. I think she posted on one of the advertisements for tonight. One of my friends said she read the book in one setting. She read till midnight and she loved the book, but she did not like the ending. She said
Ah,
she called me a tease, and I said, "Well, you gotta leave them wanting more."
that's right.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah, and it evidently is working because you and I had got to see each other recently at, of course, the Lagrange
Yeah,
book fair, Tony's book fair, and there you not only you sold out of a Nathan Perry title, but you also sold out of your exposure copies.
yeah, I was thrilled. I was so excited when that happened.
Yeah, so you had both, and I might add that you made Bex and Holly's day. You did.
Yes.
When I came
Yes,
home
you
and
did.
evidence
And those
bags.
stickers are already on my new laptop.
They are.
Already on there.
They're on the laptop.
Yeah,
They are.
I had got a bunch of forensic stickers and a bunch of book reading stickers.
Love it.
They're but those and you tempted me, Carol, because M&Ms happen to be one of my favorite kind of candies.
It
You
was
had these.
It
Skittles.
was Skittles.
Was it Skittles? Because
Yep.
it looked to me
Yeah.
like mini M&Ms. So yes,
No,
you still tempted
Skittles.
me.
I
You
actually
still-
was looking for Red Hots to put in those
Red
little
Hots.
bottles because Red
Yeah.
Hots look like blood, and that was an evidence bag. But
Well, ask Eva Beatrice because she buys them by like the
Oh.
big gallon bags. Because I helped her. I helped
I
her
know.
stuff blood
Yeah,
bags.
we had to stuff
there's a
those
candy
one time.
shop here in town, and Red Hots are their specialty. But I put those bags together at the last minute, and I didn't feel like driving downtown to buy them. So I will have them next time.
Well, I just wanted you to know,
I
Carol.
definitely ain't complaining because I enjoyed them. I like Skittles.
Well, see, everything made it intact, Carol.
Oh,
Don't worry.
good. Holly, did your bag have the little toy knife in it?
Yes, both
Okay.
of ours had a little knife.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
those were awesome.
That was a nice touch. I loved it.
Yeah, you
I
have.
said stabby, stabby.
Yeah.
You had great swag, Carol.
Thank you.
It was very impressive.
And
but,
if you look on my Facebook page, I put a story up about exposure, and those evidence bags are in one of the photos.
mhm.
Oh, neat.
Yep. Yeah, they were a big hit.
Yeah, I should have made more of them. I only made just a handful.
Well,
Oh,
if you
they're
ever,
so much fun.
well, we have a well-trained crew over here that's good at stuffing like bags of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, we've got it down to an art now with the
It's-
blood bags. We
so
got
you
to
need
stuff
help.
1,000 blood bags for
Oh my
Scarefest.
gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
We're helping Vamp Chat with Dan and Eva. We're going to help them
Yeah.
stuff 1,000 bags. But what I'm saying, Carol, is if you ever need help stuffing 1,000 bags, you just come over here.
You just
We've
come
got-
over
my
here.
gosh.
We've got a
got the
system.
crew.
We
We've got a
clear
system.
off the coffee table. We have all the kids sit around, and we have a little
We-
station. Everybody does their own little job, and we pass it around.
Crank them out.
It's
Well,
an
I'm not-
assembly line.
Next time, I'm not going to wait till like 2 days before the event before I make the bags up.
Yeah, no.
The doorbell will ring, and there's Carol, and she'll have a bunch of stuff.
I'll
with
have an
her.
armload of stuff.
I'll say, kids, guess what?
Yay.
More bags.
Hey, kids, we have
Hey,
something
kids.
fun to do today.
Yeah, those evidence bags were definitely a hit. I even had
they are.
one lady that stopped by my table that said she used to be a forensic technician, and she just thought that
neat.
was the coolest thing.
Oh, I bet.
And she loved the stickers I had on my table too.
Yeah. Yeah, those were cool. All that stuff was cool. But I was
Hey,
glad to see it.
that's a way to draw people in. It is. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
good draw.
Yeah.
It really is. I love it.
But I was glad to see you sold out those titles and
Oh,
in both series, I might add
yeah.
too. Which
The
is
first
great.
book in both series sold out.
Yeah. And you've got Homecoming to Murder, and so you've got 4 in the Nathan Perry series out. You've got 1 so far in this series, and so you're starting to get a few titles out on that table. So
Yeah.
that's trust me, it gets really fun when you like I said I've got 33, so when I have to restock for a convention and figure out what I'm low on, what I need,
It gets expensive too.
it does. It
Yeah.
really does.
Yeah, Holly, I need a bigger table at Imaginarium next year.
Yeah, I know you do. I know.
Book
I'm
racks.
on it because you've
Book
got
racks,
to have
Carol.
room.
Did you have you ever seen you've seen how I do it? But yeah,
I have a book rack. Yeah, I do.
just tier those book racks. And
I think that little thin table I had this year, I don't think
Wouldn't
the
have
book rack
holded it.
it wouldn't have even
No.
worked.
No, it wouldn't have. You wouldn't have been able to. Yeah.
I mean, the length of the table.
Too.
The length of the table is good because I shared it with Lawrence, but it's
Right.
just the
width. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just too narrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
You need it too. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, we'll make that happen. We'll make that happen.
Got you. Yeah, we're never going to do that again. I said that did not work out.
Yeah, that's what the hotel had given us a few of those. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
knew that.
we'll get that straightened out. But but it's a really good to see all these titles rolling out. But I'd be remiss in this episode if I did not ask you about the screenplay side, because you've been tearing it up on that side too and getting a lot of accolades.
Yeah.
How's the screenplay world coming along, and what's new and what's been happening?
Well, the screenplay is what got me started with fantasy, because the screenplay that I had submitted to Imaginarium this year is about witches in eastern Kentucky in the Appalachian Mountains.
Heck yeah.
And that I didn't win at Imaginarium this year, but I have placed in 2 other competitions with it. And then I got some really good feedback from a competition just last week.
Awesome.
And so I'm reworking that screenplay. I am adapting that screenplay into a book. So there's another book somewhere down the road. And then I'm just too busy. I'm taking part in a challenge with some other screenwriters to try to write something in a genre that we're not really comfortable with. So I'm going to attempt to write a horror screenplay.
I was gonna say you should try horror. I
Yeah.
think you'd surprise
Yeah.
yourself and you would do very well.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
just for the fun of it, last year I wrote a 1-page horror screenplay,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Yeah.
think, and I really liked it. I mean, it was only 1 page, but I still liked it. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to lengthen that into a feature.
Well,
Just run with that plot.
Well, like I said, that you mentioned your screenplay, dealing with witches in Eastern Kentucky, and then you also, of course, dealt with, a little bit of, occult topics in the mystery, witch hunt
Yes,
in your Nathan Perry series. So, I mean, you've come to the border of it, you have
I
in
already
a lot of
had done a
ways.
lot of research before I started
Uh-huh.
writing that screenplay.
Yeah, and you've come to the
Oh
border
yeah.
of these kind of things. I mean, it wouldn't be a big stretch at all for you to do horror.
Well, and
It
that's
really
And
what
wouldn't.
Moon was
Mhm,
saying. It's a razor thin line between
mhm.
a good thriller and a horror.
yeah.
Mhm.
There's a razor thin line there.
And if I take the Coyote Canyon Mysteries beyond my 3-book contract, I'm kind of thinking haunting in the mountains, ghosts in the mountains, pulling some kind of paranormal into that series
Nice.
someday,
There's
maybe.
there's your crossing of genres there, Holly.
Yeah,
There it is.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There it is.
That's awesome, and that's really cool. That's really cool. But and it's also cool because I was listening to you, because you have adapted one of your novels to screenplay. But now I hear you talking about taking one of your screenplays, an original screenplay, and doing the novel adaptation. So you're going to do the other version,
Which
the
is
other direction of that.
so much harder to adapt a screenplay into a novel than a novel into a screenplay.
Yeah, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're going to have a comprehensive writing sphere then, because you'll be adaptations in both directions,
If I ever
and
get it done.
screenplays, novels, and everything else. But what's what? But you are, you do a lot of live events, and so I do have to ask that, if you got some things to promote that are coming up, because I know you do a lot of shows. So
um,
what have you got in the calendar?
Yeah, I haven't scheduled a whole lot. Later this month, I'm going to be on author Lynn Slaughter's blog, and I'm going to
Nice.
have and you know how much I love writing blog posts. I wrote one for her
You just
blog about
well done, Carol.
about where I like to write, so people can kind of have a little insight on that side. Um, on October 18th, I'm going to be at the Clark County, Indiana Craft Fair. I was there last year, had a great time. My grandkids go to Clark County schools, and I even ran into some old friends from where I used to live there. So I love holiday craft fairs. I do really well at those. And then I just recently scheduled on December 6th. I'm going to be in LaGrange again at From the Ground Up Books. And that's on a Saturday, and that's their, I can't think what the name of it is. There's some kind of holiday festival going on that day. I was there last year during that time and did really well. A lot of people coming into the bookstore. And then, of course, I'll be in Imaginarium next year and LaGrange again next year, LaGrange Book Fair again next year. And any other events that come up, we're trying to, the Sisters in Crime that I'm with, the Derby Rotten Scoundrels, we're trying to get something set up at a bookstore in Jeffersonville where I live for later on, like in November or December.
Nice. Yeah, I have to say, yeah, Holly and I always love that name, the Derby Rotten Scoundrels. And so many people mess it up.
Yeah.
I always hear people, resorting to dirty.
Yeah. No. Well, we might be that too, but we're the Derby Rotten Scoundrels.
Derby Rotten Scoundrels
from Louisville, Kentucky.
That's right. And yes, definitely sounds like you're starting to get an itinerary of some shows and arts. Yeah, the arts and crafts fairs. I can't emphasize that enough. Writers, if you're listening, I mean, you heard it from Carol.
That's where I make my most money.
When you do these kind of different kind of arts crafts fair environments, I tell young writers this all the time. I said, don't just do book events. I said, do things like mixed events that that have arts and crafts and things like that,
or farmers markets, or
I've done really well there too.
Yeah, mystical fairs, or just all these other little things. Because you're not competing with 60 other authors,
right. But also at the holiday craft fairs, people are looking for Christmas gifts.
That's it.
Books make great gifts.
Yep.
So I think that's one reason why I do so well.
I do too. Yep. It's the gift giving, and you will also pick up readers. And new readers at these events that you wouldn't pick up at other fairs.
Yeah. And I had one lady that was when I was at one of the local craft fairs last year. She came by and she was looking. I had just my Nathan Perry books there, and she was looking and she wanted to get one, but she couldn't decide if she wanted The Homecoming to Murder, which was book 1, or Witch Hunt. People love looking at that Witch Hunt because they like witches. Yeah, she couldn't decide. So she thought, well, I'll get the first book in the series, and then if I like it, I'll work my way down. She was gone about 10 minutes, and she came back and she says, I want that Witch Hunt book too. So she went and bought both of them before she even left.
Yep, that's how it goes. That's how it goes sometimes. And I mean, it's definitely an environment where people that are shopping for various things, there's always a book person that's hanging out with them, or they are a book person, and you'll inevitably run across a lot of folks that are looking for books, and good sales environment. You end up doing pretty well at a lot of those events. But anything else, Holly, that you'd like to cover that on the crime side or anything like that, or have we touched bases on what you wanted to touch base on?
I love crime stuff, but yes, I can't think. I'm trying to rack my brain here and think of something that I've never asked Carol before. And we talk about so many things, But I do have a question. Have you thought about, after this series, possibly doing one where your either killer is a female, or like the female is the sheriff?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
And I may or may not have already written that.
Aha.
Nice.
there is a female, I have a female deputy that works day shift. I have a female deputy that works the night shift in Coyote Canyon. And then there's also a female FBI agent in the first book.
Cool.
Yep, and there's a great female secondary character in the Nathan Perry series.
Oh yeah, your favorite.
There sure
Stephen,
that's an easy spin-off character.
I actually started writing a little bit of a prequel in Nathan Perry books that is about Gloria and how she becomes a police officer. I don't know if it'll ever get made or not, if I'll ever get it finished, but I've got several pages written and a lot of notes down.
Did not know that. Hey, a scoop, Holly. A scoop on the Star Chamber show.
Fun.
That is awesome. But Well, Carol, tell us if there's anything that we haven't covered tonight, because I wanted to definitely introduce exposure and get the audience excited about the new series. That was obviously the goal. But is there anything tonight that we have not covered that you were wanting to get out there to the audience?
I mentioned that the second book that I've just submitted to get to for the editing is Avalanche, and then the third book that I'm working on now is called Iced, and they find a dead body in a frozen lake in that one at the beginning.
Nice.
Fantastic.
So we're getting
Well, I
getting a
tell
real
you,
scoop.
I would like to get one. What is your favorite writing tip as far as starting a new book series? What's your favorite writing tip? What do you start out doing first?
Research.
I'll say, is it your characters? Is it research? Is it plot? Is it, yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Location and characters.
Okay.
Those are my two ultimates. I love writing characters. I love writing about the locations. The plot will come to me. I get a lot of ideas from watching the news, or I'm stalking the Telluride people. I follow the local newspaper there. I did the same thing with my Nathan Perry Mysteries, which is based on Salem, Massachusetts. I followed the local newspaper there. I got ideas, not exactly the same. I changed the names. I changed a little bit of the crime, but I get a lot of good ideas from that.
Nice.
Yeah, and it is so true. And Carol is a good example of this, though. How location and setting can almost play like a character in a way in some books, and these are two series where that kind of works, and where the setting and location really do have a place in the forefront.
And it's interesting how you're basing it off a real location, but yet you're changing the name, which allows you to change a few facts. You don't have to stick to location and be a stickler about different stuff like that.
For my readers up.
And for my Coyote Canyon, Coyote Canyon Mysteries, I actually mapped out on a piece of paper. I sketched out the town. I know where where the sheriff's office is located, as opposed to the courthouse, to the post office, to the fire department, to the coffee shop that Sam's girlfriend owns and runs.
Well, have you thought about including that in the series, in like the front or back of the book?
Yes, but it's such a rough sketch. I mean, I did it on graph paper. It's the town layout. Yeah. I have thought about adding maps into, but I don't. I can't do it. I can't do a map, and I can't afford to pay somebody to do the map for me.
There are
a feller.
Yeah, there are some places that are starting to do that as like a little service for writers, and they're not.
Yeah,
some of them aren't too bad. And
I've bookmarked several.
And some people just enjoy making maps. I mean, there's people that just enjoy doing.
There's all kinds of programs online that you can use.
That you can use.
I've tried it and I can't do it, but it really does help me write the story to know where everything is located. How long does it take to drive from the sheriff's office to the hospital where the morgue is? Things like that.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely true. And if you ever do a fantasy novel, trust me, your readers will be climbing the walls asking for maps. Soon.
That's. I know. I may have to foot the bill on that one.
Should have to say, epic fantasy. Yeah, definitely. That's
what. Well, I just think it's cool. I mean, when somebody's got that to look at, and a lot of times, if it's like that, I'll go back and reference. I wish Stephen King would do that more. Because he drives me crazy sometimes with explaining.
And I did that with exposure as far as the characters go, because the first thing before you start reading the book, I've got a list at the beginning of all the police officers, to start. So, and even I will go back and reference that as I'm writing.
Oh, that's cool. So you did include that for the reader.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Oh,
I
that's
listed
neat.
who the sheriff is, who the day shift
Yeah, so
deputies
they
are,
don't get
and
confused.
and who the night shift deputies are. And
Mm-hmm.
then in book 2, I bring in another deputy, so I've added that on there. And then in book 3, it's not really a deputy, but I'm bringing somebody or something in to the sheriff's office that is also added on there.
Well, I might
Very cool.
borrow that idea. I actually like that idea.
Yeah.
To share that with the readers, because yeah, I mean, I've done that too. I've known books that's done that, add a compendium or whatever at the end, and especially like with their languages. Sometimes
Yeah.
they'll have a different language, and
And they'll
they'll
have
put
that.
it in
Yeah.
there.
And when I adapted my screenplay about the witches over into the book, the first thing at the beginning of that book, because it's the witch's descendant, so I have a little family history sheet there that
Mhm.
shows how the main character descended from the family of witches.
Very cool.
And
Very cool.
like Molly said, Molly Daniels is like, and got to make sure you spell their names correctly. And I said right and consistent, Zimmer.
Yes.
Yes, sometimes Stephen will change a name occasionally in one of his fantasy series because that's some great fantastical names he comes up with that I love. But sometimes he'll change it in the middle of the book and forget to
Well,
go back and change them all, and then I'll be reading along and I'll be like,
I'm
what?
testing. I'm
I
testing my
halt and
editor.
I'm like,
That's what it is,
wait a
Carol.
minute.
I'm
Yeah, I'm like,
testing the
who the
editor.
hell is this person?
Yeah.
You know,
I keep a
Sorry,
list
Carol.
of
I'm making sure my editor is paying attention. That's what I'm doing.
that's what he tells me. He said, I do that to make sure you're actually reading it.
I keep a list of running characters from each book in the series and then add to it as I need to. And then, my big problem is trying to remember, did I give him blue eyes or did I give him brown eyes? Is he
Yeah.
blonde?
Right.
Is he brown? So
Yeah.
I have to keep my character
Little
charts
character Bible.
right
Yeah.
there.
But if you ever do change a name and I catch you on that, that's what you tell me, Carol. Just say, "Hey, I'm testing you, Stephen." Just wanna make
I'll
sure.
remember that.
Yeah. I'm making sure you're really reading it.
I have changed
That's
names before.
that's my pro
Sam
tip for you tonight.
Sam Winslow started out as Sam Murphy, and I just did
Yeah.
not like that name, so I changed it.
You changed it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because as you go along, that's what he'll do. He'll be getting along and he'll be like, oh, I want
Yeah.
to change the name mid
Yeah.
book,
You
and
get
then,
that. You
yeah,
get that
and then I'm like, oh
epiphany.
my God.
Yeah. Then you'll go back and you think you got them all, and then you'll miss a couple.
No.
Oh,
But
yeah.
And then you
no,
get,
Even
I'm not.
and
even
I'm
if
like,
you
wait a minute,
I'm just
who the hell
testing
is
it, Holly.
even
this?
if you do the search and find, it'll still
Yeah.
miss some.
It
Yeah. It
does.
will.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
It sure
So,
does. So
but no,
that's always fun.
but I'm just
Yeah.
testing, Holly. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, Holly passes the test because I
Yes.
actually read this.
Well, yeah, you do. You do actually read.
Yeah.
There
And
you go.
Eva's in the chat. Yes, I actually
Yeah.
read your book, Eva. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, is Eva, well, hopefully Eva heard the great story talking about the bag stuffing tonight.
Yeah, she did. She did the bag stuffing. Yes, she did.
That's
We're gonna
great.
pull Moon into it. I think. Hey, there you go. We'll
Well,
teach Moon, and then he can help Carol too.
Yeah,
and I
Carol's got it made now. We're gonna have a machine that can produce like 2,000 bags in an afternoon.
There you go.
and I saw Eva mention about my vampire book. I actually, if I ever get this witches book written, I have an idea for 3 books in it. And the first one is going to
Oh,
be about witches. The second one's going to be about a demon, and the third one's going to be about a vampire. And when the
bingo.
vampire comes out, I want to be on Vamp Chat.
Oh yeah, most
Yes.
definitely. That show
Oh
is
my God, Molly
fantastic.
Daniels. She had to make the little toss some
Vamp Chat on
Kleenex in there.
Podbean.
Oh
On
my God,
Podbean,
that's
folks. Check it out.
yes. Podbean, Vamp Chat. Check it
Yeah,
out.
with Dan and Eva. Yes.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. You'll make me a very happy woman,
Yeah,
Carol.
yeah. Put Holly as one of your beta readers on the
You're
vampire
checking the
book for sure.
boxes, man. You got
Yeah.
witches, you got murders, you got vampires. I'm all in.
I just don't know if I'm going to live long enough to write all these things I want to
Well, hell, I
write.
don't know, but you're checking all my boxes. You're just going down the line. Now we got to get a female serial killer in there. We just check.
And then
I'll work on it.
and then
Okay, okay.
Carol and I still have to finish our project on the concept for a bourbon dispenser that we came up
Oh,
with
yes.
many years ago. So
Yeah.
that's an idea.
Yeah, that's been a long time.
It's been a long time in the coming.
Oh, yeah.
So but this has been awesome, Carol. So yeah, thank you for hanging out with us tonight, because this has been a great show, and love talking to you
Oh, it's
and
always
having you on
fun.
the show. And
Yeah,
it's
always fun to be here.
been awesome. So I'm going to turn it over to Holly to close things out with you. But I just want to tell you, I had a great time, and can't wait till the next time,
Well,
Carol.
thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you for sharing some insights into your research, and how you're keeping track of your characters and all of that. That helps. That helps a lot of new authors, and you gave me some ideas. I love it.
Well, good.
So thank you for being on,
Thank
and
you.
yeah, get that vampire book wrote. We'll get you over there on Vamp Chat, and yeah, be stuffing some blood bags for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to Eva about that.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, thank you, Carol. And you have a good night.
Thank you.
And everybody else, join us next Wednesday evening, same place, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Another great guest, another great chat. Rest of the week, be creative. Good night, all.